We're going to be talking about the CI-19. This gun absolutely rips. Depending on who you ask, some people may say it is the best gun in the game. This video, we're going to talk about how I build it now in Season 5. We're going to talk about what's new with the gun and finally get into my Season 5 builds. The loadouts are going to be in the description as well as the pinned comment. I'm going to have a list there for you guys. Some people say it's the best gun in the game. I think it's an insanely good gun. So it really depends on who you ask, and really people are going to pick the gun they can be most consistent with. I say this in all of my videos. Consistency is one of the most important things in FPS gaming. So some people, it might be the SMG45, the AK-12, the CI-19. I personally think the AKM and the AK-12 are the two meta ARs this season. Don't get me wrong, the CI-19 is a beast. The first video I uploaded on this gun, the day the gun came out or the day after, and in that video, I compared it to an SMG, and I used a short barrel build and said this gun's insanely good in the close to mid-range. Then they buffed the specific gas block that increases the range even more, extends the range out to 39 meters, and I think it drops the rate of fire to 660. And for the past few seasons, the CI-19 was a monster at range. So now in Season 5, I think it's kind of going back to its original state as the close to mid-range master. Every gun kind of has its claim to fame, whether it's hip fire, rate of fire, low recoil. I think the CI-19's claim to fame is mid-range, close range monster. My go-to operator for this gun is always D-Wolf because his slide jump. So I said we're going to talk about what's new. So let's just remove everything. What's new is this grip right here. It's the Vanguard new type grip. This is a new option for Season 5. It's available on a few weapons, and it basically does firing stability at the cost of some handling. So as we take a look here, it does this current firing stability, brings it down to 0.84, and it hurts our handling a little bit, but nothing too crazy. For those of you guys that are unaware, firing stability is very important. It's basically the bounce of your reticle. So being able to reduce this right here is one of the most important things to make the CI-19's recoil feel easy to control. And so this new grip does the strongest buff for that at 0.84, but there are multiple other options on this gun, like Prism hand stop. Everyone's familiar with this underbarrel grip, arguably the best underbarrel grip in the game, 0.88. Whereas that new grip does 0.84. Some other options for muzzles, we have the spiral flash hider right here, and we have the multi-caliber suppressor. 10 times out of 10, I'm gonna pick the spiral flash hider over the multi-caliber suppressor because the multi-caliber 0.9, spiral flash is 0.92. So it's only a difference of 0.02, but the multi-caliber hurts your handling, whereas the spiral flash does nothing to handling and it helps stability. So I think overall, if you're trying to min-max your builds, the spiral flash 10 times out of 10, it beats the caliber suppressor, I'm gonna be honest, but it's gonna boil down to personal preference. And then lastly, there's one other stock that helps with firing stability, and it does the exact same as the Prism hand stop at 0.88. It's going to be the Cardinal stable stock. So this is also a really good stock for Season 5. I use it on quite a few builds. So you have a lot of options to help with firing stability, and I definitely recommend on the CI-19 you use at least one of those 5 attachments we just went over. But I'm not gonna lie, overall, I still prefer this Vanguard light grip because it helps with handling. The CI-19 can feel really slow, so I really still do run this Vanguard light grip. One other thing that has changed this season, so this Season 5, I like running no gas block. I just leave it empty. You still get 706 RPM and you still get range, so I think it's the perfect balance. I like running all of my builds, whether it's close, medium, or long range in Season 5 with no gas block. Now let's hop into the base stats before we get into some of the builds. You're doing 25 damage to the chest and body, and then 47 headshots. So like I said with the QBZ, if you can land that chest and headshot, this gun is going to fry. So this is going to be my #1 build. Favorite build for Season 5. It's basically max range with good handling. This new 2X is one of my favorite optics in the game. My favorite optics for sure, the Cobra and the Panoramic, that's tied for #1. Close second right here. This Prism 2X is insanely good. Super fun to use. I come from PUBG. I played a lot of PUBG, so I like 2X, 3X optics. Very comfortable to spray with those. Again, every other attachment in the back, we're running the Skeleton Sniper. You can't go wrong with running this stock with a 45 mag because you gain back a lot of the lost handling and stability from the 45 mag. So this is a really good option to pair with a 45 mag build. The other option option I would recommend running is this shadow buffer tube. You still get a lot of handling, you get way less stability, but the recoil helps quite a bit. So if you run this sniper stock and you feel like the recoil is a little weird, switch it over to this shadow buffer. These are my two favorite stocks for the 45 mag CI-19 builds for sure. And then as of course, we're running the Vanguard light grip. Like I said, I just need that handling buff. I like my guns to feel snappy. We're running the 2X on there. This thing's insane. 45 mag, max range barrel. Like I said earlier, no gas block. And then the Bastion, this feels really good with the K1 Elite. Of course, the K1 Elite is your best option for minimizing horizontal recoil without hurting vertical. And then everything else kind of just for speed. So as you can see overall with this build, we're doing 25 damage to 35 meters. That's pretty good. 58 control, 58 handling, 55 stability, 706 RPM. 45 mag. That's a pretty strong gun right there. This thing's gonna be a blast to use, and my one hindsight, I have to say, I was able to play quite a bit the other day. Played for like 3-4 hours. For me, that's a lot. You guys may think I play Delta Force a lot. I really don't. I probably play less than 15 hours a week. I used this gun for quite a bit the other day. I will say close range, you may lose some of your fights because you're able to play aggressive with this build. You're able to get up close and push people and hip fire, but the problem is the 2X close range is kind of poor. So I would recommend either throwing a canted sight on there and zooming it out a little bit for the close range. It's only a -1 to handling, so, or swapping out one of these handguards for a laser to be able to go into like tack stance with for close range. Just a little bit more close range support would be nice on this build, but that's the only thing I think I would change. Let me know what you guys think about this gun. You're gonna have a blast. You can play aggressive with it, slow with it, and feels great and rewarding. All right, like the 2X kills. When you land a spray with the 2X, it's so satisfying. All right, let's hop into build number 2. So build number 2 for me is going to be my signature loadout. I call it my signature loadout because this is my favorite build I've came up with. I've been running my CI-19 like this for a long time. It goes way back, and it's basically designed for an aggressive medium range to close range gun that can still kill long range and has high mobility and handling. So it's designed for D-Wolf's slide jump. It's going to feel insanely good with that. You're just going to skate and float around people with it. You may notice we're running the 30 mag on here, not the 45, because I want the handling of a 30 mag. So you kind of can figure this out on your own. If you want the 45 mag, go for it. But I'd way rather be limited to 1 to 2 kills with this 30 mag than maybe get 3 kills and have way less handling. The whole fun of this build is the high mobility with having strong range still. So that's kind of the concept of this build. It's not really a beginner friendly build at all. It's more of like a kind of advanced intermediate style build, and you know, you could try this one out, but if you're more beginner or don't have a lot of experience with the CI-19, you probably won't like this build, but it's awesome. It's going to be build number 2. Build number 3, this is kind of how I would recommend someone new to the game or new to the CI-19 to run it in Warfare. 62 control, 69 handling, and pretty good stability. So it's going to feel really quick. You're going to have good range at 35 meters, and you're still doing 25 damage. And overall, yeah, it's kind of just designed as a 1v1 type of gun. You can win your 1v1s. You can get 1 to 2 kills a mag. Again, I'm intentionally not running the 45 mag on here to make it a more beginner-friendly gun. This is a great introduction to the CI-19. You have a balance of Ranger handguards and handling Python handguards, so that's why we have such good ADS time. As you can see right here, 254. So that's like a Call of Duty style ADS time for sure. So this gun's going to feel really, really good. Definitely want to check it out. This is going to be build number 3. And then this is how I would build the same gun as the previous one, right? Like an all-rounder, but with a 45 mag. So what we did on this one was we put on the 45 mag. We're running the new Vanguard grip, okay, instead of this Vanguard light grip. And then we switched out the stock from the sniper to the shadow buffer to get a bit better control. And then lastly, we changed out all of the handguards to the Python. We got rid of the riser and panoramic and switched back to the Cobra. And then last change is the spiral flash hider instead of the Bastion. So overall with this loadout, 45 mag, we have 64 control, 56 handling, and we still have 706 RPM with 45 mag. The control, pretty good, 0.75, 0.62. Handling time, 359. So it's not fast, it's kind of slower, but overall for 45 mag that's built for range and stability, it's a pretty solid option, feels pretty fun to use. But overall, I think this is my favorite option. I always am gonna love this aggro, aggressive style 30 mag no stock build. This is such a fun gun to use with D-Wolf. And then these two are both great options for new players, advanced players, if you're wanting to get more comfortable to CI-19, build number 3 is going to be awesome for you guys. And overall, it's just a gun you can't really miss with. Now, I know, and by miss, I mean, I don't mean accurate. I mean, you can kind of just use this gun and perform well because it's such a good gun, all right? So let me know down in the comments, how do you guys like to build the CI-19 this season? And what do you think about the CI-19 this season? Do you think it's good, bad, okay? The best gun in the game? Let me know. I'm curious what you guys think. As always, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video.